Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, a little bit of a confession time here. I was taking the air filter out of my '02 Buick Rendezvous so that I could switch it out. And quite honestly, I've done a video on this, and I've done it before. Didn't really. I mean, it was difficult. It's a difficult one to get to. It's very tight, but I didn't have near the problems I did this time. And I ended up breaking this right here. So as you might be able to see, I've ground that down and JB welded it there all the way around. So hopefully that'll do the trick. I might sand it and paint it just to kind of make it look a little bit better. But that's not what this video is about. The reason I'm doing this video is I actually have had a couple of comments saying how it was just impossible to get this out. And so I went back and looked at my video to see what was different about how I did it this time than last time. Because I figured I must have pulled it off at a different area or something, but I didn't. I had pulled it off from this area. And then I pulled this off of the mass airflow sensor here, but it was really hard even out of the car to get this off of there. And I was like, what in the heck is going on? What is the difference between that video that I did, where it actually came out fairly okay, not easy, but okay. And so I looked at the video, and turns out when I did that, the motor was, I just got back home and I'd been driving it, so it was pretty hot, but I needed to get it done and do something else. So I was in kind of a hurry, so I went ahead and did it while the engine was hot, which I normally wouldn't recommend doing. But I think it loosened these up. Being warm, it allowed them to come off a lot easier. So if you don't want to go drive your car around and do this and burn your hands like I did in my video, maybe a heat gun, something like that. That's what I'm going to try to do to put it back in. I'm going to warm it up with a heat gun. And I've been doing this, it's winter outside. I got heat in my garage, but my garage doesn't get up to 70, 80 degrees by any means. I'm lucky if I get a 60 degrees out of it. So anyhow, I think that was the difference, I'm hoping. And next time I will definitely either use a heat gun or warm stuff up. But there you go. Alright, well, it's back in. I painted that black. It doesn't look perfect. You can definitely see where I gobbed it up a little bit with the JB weld. But it's all back in. A couple things, I don't know if in either video so far I've mentioned that this just pops right off of this bar right here. And you can set it to the side, and that gets that out of your way. Second of all, try a heat gun carefully, because obviously heat guns or even hair dryer are probably a little safer if you don't know how these work very well, but they can get very hot and melt electronics and plastic and all kinds of things if you're not careful with real heat guns. But I used the heat gun on this and that, and I got this onto here first, and then put the top part in, put this piece in, and then I heated up that tube right there, the inlet, air inlet right there, heated that up pretty good and put that in after the fact. I did leave this loose here, the actual top part loose, so that it would move some and I can maneuver it around a little bit, and then hooked it up at the end. I know I didn't video this, but I was just trying to get it done and not break anything more. But that made a world of difference. Using the heat gun or hair dryer, warm that rubber up so that it actually is more flexible, and it made it definitely a little easier to get it in. So little update there on getting the air filter out of this. I would also recommend, I think on the first one I popped this off from down here and then took everything out. I would just leave this on the box here and just pop this off and that off, probably to keep from breaking this again. That's the biggest bummer, but hopefully it's all fixed, it'll all work, and it'll go down the road again. Alright, this is Sam, Jack of all and obviously Master of none. You all have a good one.